We have finally entered the fantasy football playoffs. Last week was important. We needed to make it there. Now we're here. Here are the players we need to be starting to get us to the next round. Starting with a more sneaky play that I do like this week, a running back for the Washington Commanders, Brian Robinson. Commanders are coming off their bye week, which did give them time to prepare for the Giants this week. They did play them the week before their bye as well. NFL teams typically give rookies more volume after the bye week, so this week we could see Brian Robinson getting some more valuable touches. The Commanders' identity this season likes to stick to the run game. A lot of the times they have 7 to 8 minute drives, long rugged drives, a lot of run plays, so he should get a lot of work. He is averaging about 15 carries a game. He had 21 before the bye week against the Giants. The Giants also have the 27th worst run defense amongst every team in the NFL, so if he does get this bumped role, he should be a smash play this week. Another running back that I do kind of like this week is Isaiah Pacheco. The Chiefs are playing the Texans this week, which they are a 15-point favorite over. This means that they should be running the ball a lot. They will be up in this game, presumably. Not to mention the Texans are dead last in opposing running back points per game. They give up so many points to the running backs. Some people are worried about Jerick McKinnon in this backfield. We saw what he did last week. Over 100 yards easily, a lot of work in the receiving game, but he did have 6 carries in that game, which isn't a lot on the ground. They're probably going to be sticking to the ground game a lot, which will be the majority of Isaiah Pacheco's work there. Pacheco's rushing yard line is at 70.5 yards, which is the highest that it's been all season, so it looks like Vegas is projecting a good game from him as well. Another player we have to be going through and putting in our starting lineup is Michael Pittman. I know this might come as a surprise to some of you guys because he hasn't really been the best wide receiver recently. He had 2 catches last week against the Giants before his bye week. He's not doing good at all. But if you did watch What We Must Learn in week 14, you guys know we have to be targeting every single Vikings game that there is. The Vikings allow the most points to opposing fantasy wide receivers, and their team totals are always very, very high because the Vikings just don't have a good defense. They don't have a good secondary. The Colts will probably also be playing from behind, which means a very pass-heavy game script coming. Good news for Michael Pittman. Also, moving into some tight ends, a sneaky start that I do like this week is David Njoku. Now, this game's line is not very high. It's at a 38.5 point total for the entire game. So it might be a little bit risky. There won't be too much offensive power going on here, but I still do like starting him this week. It looks like Njoku is Deshaun Watson's safety blanket. He had 9 targets last week, had a lot of work in the receiving game. We can tell that Deshaun Watson isn't fully confident in this offense yet. He doesn't throw a lot of deep balls, which is great for Njoku because he operates in the short to intermediate pass game. So that is going to be all his volume there. Now, they've only had 1 game together, so it might be a little bit too early to tell, but he is getting the target volume. This could be a league-winning tight end coming here. Another sneaky player that I do want to add in here, a little bit of everything, Mr. Taysom Hill. Juwan Johnson is questionable for this week 15 game, as well as Adam Troutman, which means Taysom Hill is going to be the number 1 tight end and only tight end in this offense. We know that he does more than just catch passes. He can run the ball, he can pass the ball, he can do pretty much everything. And we've seen what he can do in previous weeks, so he might just be a smash play if these 2 tight ends do miss this week. Another guy that simply just has to be started in every single league is Mike Williams. The Titans allow the most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers at 42.5 points. I'm expecting a huge passing game from Justin Herbert. Somebody on this offense is going to boom for at least 30 or 40 points. It might be Mike Williams. I know Mike Williams has been a little bit boom or bust this year, but this week he has to be started. Moving back to the tight ends, another sneaky start could be Cole Kmet. As we know, the Bears are facing the Eagles, and this is a game where they're going to have to pass a lot to stay in it. They can't run the ball the entire game and expect to stay close with the Eagles. So this could make Cole Kmet a smash play with Claypool out. Cole Kmet leads the league in tight end target share at 26% since the Claypool injury. The Eagles are also about neutral in tight end points allowed, so it's not a very difficult matchup for Cole Kmet. The Bears do not pass a lot in this offense, but considering that they're going to this week, he's the only one getting targets on that team. Consider putting him in your starting lineup if you do have him on your team. But that is going to do it for my rapid fire starts this week. If you don't want to miss the must sit video coming out later, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in that video.